Miles, what?
All right, this is new. Cigarette smoke.
Marcus, I meant to say.
I know what you do with it. Suck it in from its burning altar. Draw it into your lungs. The way a swimmer takes that first breath after being underwater for so long, his lungs feel like bursting. And it becomes a part of you. The heat, the sheer volume, the poison that collects in your cells and will one day suffocate them all. And still, you let it out. Blow it into the night air where it dances with the breath of our wandering homeless prophets. And this one, too, you no longer will remember. I'm done.
Next time, don't bring David Lehman.
That was good, Miles. I like that reading.
You know, he's a good poet.
Miles, that was my favorite.
I keep telling you.
Boring. Lehman is boring.
I'm sorry.
All right, the rebuttal for Claire will happen during her time on the mic. 2 minutes to 2 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, I yield the balance of my time to Claire McMahon.
From the great state of New Jersey, exit 27, near the toxic waste dump.
27.
Well, you're wrong, Ray.
Where's that?
There is no fucking exit.
That's not true. That's not.
Come on, there's
There is
150
not.
fucking exits in New Jersey.
Well, there's
Yes,
not
there
a
is.
27.
All right. Well, you can do the Rand McNally out back too.
No.
Let's take some. Oh, we've got plenty of time tonight thanks to our features generosity. Let's get this thing moving. Our next reader is the venerable, ever so honorable,
Inimitable.
and all other bulls, Jack McGuane.
Sit your ass down and listen to Jack.
Not David Lehman. Not David Lehman.
Oh, you hate him.
Last time we had that discussion was about Billy Collins. Oops, I mentioned
Well,
Billy
that's
Collins.
that thing.
Billy Collins is good.
Yeah, Billy Collins is funny. David
But
Lee
Joseph is in the
sucks.
other room. He'll tell you otherwise.
Well, okay, just let's listen to Jack because he's better than all of them.
Meanwhile, back to the microphone.
All right, this is a scientific poem
Oh,
about particles.
okay. Terry, help me.
Particles?
Particles.
Terry, hold my hand.
What worries me is, God forbid, one of them neutrinos gets in there and screws up an electron or a positron, and we go into a whole new universe, goes into another big bang.
See? See what I said, Terry?
Maybe that would be good for both of us. God knows at our age we could use one. And how did all that tidal activity get started? Is that what makes the Earth wobble on its axis? All that global sloshing? Or did the wobble cause the tides? And if so, what caused the wobble? Oh, right. It was that last fight we had when the SWAT team showed up. Searched our bedroom for Osama bin Laden after what you told him on the 911 call.
This is not a persona poem.
Was that a block party, Jack? Or what happened?
That was a good one. Lakewood, Ohio.
This just in from the Muse room. I'm the same age as the stars that come out at night, throwing eggs at the moon, so keep your voice down. My life is full of sourdough and irony. I have plenty of bullets left, but my gun is too rusty to shoot. I'm hoping for a catastrophic illness to make better use of my Medicare prescription plan.
It's funny, I feel the same way sometimes. I'm not even that old.
I called 911 for a first aid carpenter when my bed broke. He came with a hammer but said I needed a screwdriver and still charged me full price. When I asked for a senior discount, he said I wasn't old enough. Looking around for something to distinguish his administration, the president realized we haven't had a good war lately. Life isn't designed to make sense. So if you think you're getting it, it means you're not. One thing I do know, watching my weight is not as compelling as football. I could have stayed in the monastery and kept my mouth shut about where they bury the ordained suicide bombers. If they were alive today, they'd be turning in their graves. Not all the windbags are men. Not all the windbags are men. But I still need to know when I'm doing 65 and a 55, what does it mean when the cop waves? Pull over? Speed up? Have a nice day? Who was the first person to lock his door at night, creating the groundswell of door locking that we see today? When did the sun start coming up in the west, or am I facing north instead of south? And how can I tell? How do you get to the middle of nowhere when there's nowhere to be found? And where is the place you can't get to from here, or is that where we are already? Why is your toilet running? Depression. We don't have to worry about depression as long as the war keeps on, or a drop in the housing market. This was all proved out back in '41. As soon as we got in the war, the depression ended, and we all made the big bucks. My old man pulled down 90 a week at the airplane factory. If you went to the war and got your leg shot off, you could come home and get rich, or your arm. The only way it didn't work was if you got killed. But everybody agreed it was worth it.
Jack McGuane.
Jackie.
Hold on to Lakewood. You can still read his poetry without the glasses.
Yeah, fair play to you, Jack.
Next on our happy list.
Happy.
Happy! A no fear happy list. We have, and it's been a while, Marcus Bales. Welcome back.
Woo-hoo! By the way, you were recently in the November 3rd Club.
Who was?
You were.
I was?
Yes.
Nobody ever tells me these things.
Yes, so this is a political anthology that I did called November 3rd Club. It's an e-zine. Marcus and Jack have both been in it. So send stuff. Just Google November 3rd Club. It's we started on November 3rd after the election, and it's progressive political discussion and poetry and things like that. Check it out, November 3rd Club. And Marcus and Jack and somebody else recently from Cleveland was in it too.
I've been in it.
Yeah.
I was in the
Yeah.
first issue, I think.
Okay,
First one.
good, yeah. Stan was in
I
it
mean.
too, so check it out. It's a really nice, easy, and it's fighting the good fight. Thank you.
And
bet.
Pamela.
That's Ray McNeese, everybody. Ray McNeese!
Ray McNeese.
Sunday!
Yes, it's the Pimp Club.
All right, I've always
What we
advocated.
do best.
I've always advocated starting out with someone else's poems. And since Claire's been giving us such a hard time tonight, I'm going to read one of Wendy Cope's.
Oh, yeah.
Called Men and Their Boring Arguments.
You want me to interrupt you, Mark?
Yeah,
Is
sure.
that what you're saying?
One man on his own can be quite good fun, but don't go drinking with two. They'll probably have an argument and take no notice of you. What makes men so tedious is the need to show off and compete. They'll bore you to death for hours and hours before they'll admit defeat. It often happens at dinner parties where brother disputes with brother, and we can't even talk among ourselves because we're not next to each other. Some men like to argue with women. Don't give them a chance to begin. You won't be allowed to change the subject until you have given in. A man with the bit between his teeth will keep you up half the night, and the only way to get some sleep is to say, I expect you're right. I expect you're right, my dearest love. I expect you're right, my dear, my friend. These boring arguments make no difference to anything in the end. It's Wendy Cope. And I recommend her work to you. All right, following on Jim's theme, I think it was Jim's theme about homeless people. This is by me, and this is called Vagrant Grace.